County have been linked with another forward to bring into the club. This time it's not a striker, it's a sort of winger slash number 10, and his name is Marcus Harness. I think he came through the academy at Burton Albion, currently playing for Ipswich Town, where he's made 3 appearances this season. But shall we get into looking at the link for Marcus Harness, where it's come from and his career? But before we do that, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below and turn on that notification bell to stay tuned for all of the latest content coming to this channel around Derby County and the EFL Championship and League One. So here we have the link. Now, it's originated from the forum. Now the forum's got a lot right over the course of the summer and previous transfer windows, and this is just another one. There's a lot of talk about El Hamadi, but it turns out, according to Dom Dietrich, that deal isn't going to happen this transfer window. Whether it happens in the future in a different one, I'm not entirely sure. But I'm led to believe, according to the forum, that we're after a winger slash number 10. And that player is Marcus Harness from Ipswich, a player who has sort of gone through the levels. Started off at, I believe, Burton Albion, has spent time at the likes of Aldershot and Pompey and Ipswich, and looks as if he could be heading to Derby County now. If we do take a little bit of a deeper look into Marcus Harness, he's currently 28 years old. His contract expires next summer, well, the end of this season, essentially. So it's another one of them deals similar to Nat Phillips, who we signed earlier today, who could come in on a potential loan deal until the end of this season, and hopefully find a way that we can sort of work out a deal for a future set of seasons if it all works out. And I think Marcus Harness could be a really, really good signing for Derby County. Now, if we look at his career so far, he's played for Aldershot, Port Vale, Burton Albion, Ipswich and Pompey. He's played 350 senior appearances with 19,962 minutes, 52 goals scored, 44 assists, 34 yellows and 1 red card. And now, obviously, a lot of Derby fans may know him from his time at Burton Albion, was sort of one of their better players during his time there. And I certainly think that this could be a signing which could really, really benefit Derby County. I think he offers a lot of creativity. He knows where the back of the net is. Now, obviously, he's not your goal scoring number 9, which we're sort of dying for at the moment. Hopefully that comes in before 11 p.m. But this deal looks to be a really good one if Derby County can get it over the line. Obviously, there's no official confirmation or official word from any particular Derby County source yet, but I certainly think that if they are to get this one done, I think it could be a really, really good one. If you have not done so already, make sure you hit that subscribe button to stay tuned for all of my latest Derby County and EFL, League One and Championship content across the course of this season. Make sure you check out my previous videos from today. I've taken a look at some of the transfer targets that Derby County have. I've also put forward a couple of my own, so make sure you go and check those videos out. But shall we get back into it? So when we look at Marcus Harness's career over the course of the clubs he's played at, he made 2 appearances for Aldershot Town, 42 games, 2 goals and 5 assists for Port Vale, 6 goals and 9 assists in 83 appearances for Burton Albion, 89 appearances for Ipswich Town, 12 goals and 8 assists. And at Pompey was probably his best spell. He played 134 games, scoring 34 times, collecting 22 assists. And he's got a lot of League One experience. He's also made that step up to the Championship and played in the Premier League over the course of the past few weeks after doing that double promotion with Ipswich. So it's certainly a deal which could be really good. Now, this is one of the reasons why I think this deal could be absolutely excellent. You look at the positions that he's played in, the positions that he can play. He can play on either wing. He can play in behind a striker. He can even play as that striker, and he can also play as like a number 8 in a midfield 3. So he's certainly a player who I think would fit into this Paul Warne system, the Paul Warne style. Sort of, I think with the versatility, I think it offers a lot because he can also play out at wing back, and it's one of those for me where I think if he was to come in and sort of take up one of those roles in the midfield or take up one of those roles on either wing, I think he offers something a little bit different to the players we currently have. You obviously look at Mendes Lang and Caden Jackson on either wing, and they're sort of speedsters. Whereas I think Marcus Harness is more of a technical player. You look at Kenzo Holdmine and Tawanda Chiwa, and they're sort of they're number 10s at like they're playmaker players, and well, Kenzo's more of sort of like a number 8, so it sort of offers an extra body in that number 10 position. I think it could be a really, really good signing for Derby County. Now, if we go to look on the depth chart for Derby County, it's currently in a 4-3-3. That's the system we've been playing so far this season. Obviously, Nat Phillips has been added into that, in at centre-back behind Curtis Nelson, and Harness on this depth chart would probably come in either in that Kenzo and Chiwo role, or in one of those wide positions. So it would be interesting to see how Paul Warne would plan to use Marcus Harness, because I do think he could offer us something really, really good, and I think he could certainly be an option that Derby County could use. Obviously, Blackett Taylor is going to be like a new signing when he's fit, and we're still sort of haggling after a number 9. It's going to be interesting to see where that number 9 comes from. Now, with this deal, I'm not entirely sure how exactly it's going to work, because if we go for a loan signing, then we can't do a striker as a loan. So it could be a possible permanent deal, which is something which has to be stressed, because I think you're only allowed 5 loan signings in the squad on a match day. So you wouldn't want sort of to leave a loan signing at home who you've brought in to sort of play football, essentially. So it's one of those for me where I think it could be a really good deal for Derby County to bring in Harness, whether it's a loan deal or a permanent deal. That's something which Paul Warne and the recruitment staff and Stephen Pearce would all have to deal with, and I think it'd probably be one of those that's a permanent, depending on who the striker is. So it's going to be very interesting to see what's going to happen over the course of the next few days. Obviously, as I've been recording, I've not been sort of keeping up, so we're currently at 9:05 as I'm recording this video, and we're still haggling after a striker. We still need that number 9. Now, what type of deal? Now, I've put loan question mark here, and it's to do with the same thing that I was just discussing. Obviously, when you talk about matchday squads and things like that, I think you're only allowed a maximum of 5 loan players in the squad. So it's one of those where I can't see it being something like that. I can't see it being a loan deal, because then Paul Warne is limited on what he can do, and obviously all the loan players play in different positions. So it's sort of a case of, where are they going to fit? You're not going to want to bring in a player that you can't put in the squad, if that makes sense. So it's certainly a conversation which needs to be had. It will be interesting to see if it is a loan or a permanent deal. Obviously, Paul Warne has said we still have budget. We've just not been able to get the players he wants, and obviously it's coming down to the final moments of deadline day now, and obviously, as I say, I'm recording this, it's just gone 9:05, and we've got just under 2 hours to go. Obviously, then you've got the extension, but anything that happens after 11 we'll come over and talk over on Saturday afternoon after the Bristol City game, and then look further into next week during the international break. So I do think this could be a really good deal. I think it could be one of those deals where it's like they terminate and we get them on a permanent, but we agree X, Y, and Z for them. So a bit similar to the likes of the Tyrese Forner deal, the James Collins deal, Sonny Bradley's deal. No, I don't think Sonny Bradley's was like that, actually. And the Connor Washington deal, where we get a player in for free, essentially, but we give them based on X, Y, and Z. So it will be interesting to see how that does progress for obviously Derby County and Ipswich Town. Marcus Harness has obviously played 3 games for them this season, so it will be interesting to see how this one progresses. Obviously, if you have not done so already, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. Make sure you let me know your thoughts down in the comments. I'll keep you up to date with everything I can do up until around 11:30 will be probably the last time I upload, if I do upload past this one. So let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Make sure to go and find me on TikTok, pictured here, and Twitter, pictured here. These are the places where I'll keep you all up to date with all my upcoming videos and my thoughts and feelings around the Formula 1 and football weekend.